Okay, welcome to day 1 of the Gummy Bear Lab. Every lab in chemistry, actually every lab in science, starts out with a problem or a question. Today's question is, what do you think will happen to the density of a gummy bear when you put it in water overnight? From that question, it is your responsibility to develop a hypothesis. Hypotheses have two parts: the if, what you're going to do, then what you think will happen. So what you're being asked to address is the density. And just a quick reminder, density is the relationship between mass, how much matter makes something up, and volume, how much space that matter takes up. Your hypothesis will address density. So there are 2 gummy bears in the lab, but we're only concerned with what's going to happen to the gummy bear that soaks in water overnight. So the question is, what do you think will happen to the density of a gummy bear when you put it in water overnight? Your hypothesis will start as, if I put a gummy bear in water overnight, then the density of the bear will increase, decrease, or stay the same. I don't care if it changes colors. I don't care if it's going to lose color. I don't care any of those things. I'm only concerned with what's going to happen to the density. In order to get that information, we have to take some measurements. So we are going to measure the length, the width, and the thickness of the gummy bear. And we're going to use that to calculate volume. Length times width times thickness will give you the volume of the gummy bear in centimeters cubed. We're also going to get the mass of the gummy bear. We're going to put him on a balance and get his mass in grams. Once we have the volume and the mass, we can calculate the density of our gummy bears. Okay, here are the data tables that you're going to fill out. Bear 1 is purple, and he's the one we're going to soak in water overnight. Bear 2 is just going to sit on the counter next to Bear 1 in the open air. But we need data for both of the bears. So Bear 1's color is purple. Bear 2's color is blue. Okay, here is bear number 1. We're going to measure his length, his width, and his thickness. It is your responsibility to record that in the data table for the lab. You can do that using Kami. Now, bear number 1, his length is 3.7 centimeters. His width, if we measure him at the widest point, our bear is 1.7 centimeters wide. If we measure him at his thickest point, our little bear is 1.6 centimeters thick. Now we're going to get his mass in a minute. We'll come back to his mass. The next thing we're going to do is measure the length, the width, and the thickness of our blue bear. Okay, here's our blue bear. Our blue bear is a little bit longer than our purple bear. Our blue bear is 3.8 centimeters long. His width is 1.8 centimeters. Sorry, his width is this way. His width is this way, and that's 1.8 centimeters. And his thickness is 1.5 centimeters. He's a little skinnier than our other bear. All right, now I'm going to set up the balance, and we're going to get the mass of both of our gummy bears. Okay, this is a balance, and it's going to get us our mass. As you can see here, the unit is grams. That's the unit for mass. And the first thing you do when you use a balance is you zero it, so it says 0. The first bear we're going to weigh is the purple bear. And the purple bear's mass is 8.58 grams. Remember, numbers have units. Okay, now we're going to take the purple bear off the balance. It's zeroed again, and we're going to get the mass of the blue bear. The blue bear is skinnier. He's 8.49 grams. Okay, so you have it to record. The length of the purple bear is 3.7 centimeters. The width is 1.7 centimeters. The thickness, 1.6 centimeters. And the mass is 8.58 grams. For the blue bear, the length is 3.8 centimeters. The width is 1.8 centimeters. The thickness is 1.5 centimeters. And his mass is 8.49 grams. Make sure you fill that in on the 2 data tables for day 1. Okay, the last step for today is we have a beaker with water. Our purple gummy bear is going to go in the water, and he's going to soak overnight. Our blue gummy bear is going to sit on the counter next to him. Tomorrow, we will get all the measurements of the bears again, and we'll go over what you do to calculate the amount of change. We'll also talk about how to analyze the data and write a valid conclusion. For today, you should have the measurements filled in. You should have the volume calculated. You should have the density calculated. And you should have a hypothesis written. The hypothesis should be an if-then statement. If a gummy bear is put in water overnight, then, and your prediction should be about the density. How is the density going to change? Is it going to increase, decrease, or stay the same? Tomorrow, we'll wrap this lab up. Have a good afternoon.